Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Enlightened Masculinity. It's very, very special. You see my co-host, he's right next to me. We're here in San Jose, California, training with our teacher, Rastafari Bazaar. And we're going to get right into the topic is false compliments. If this is your first time joining us, then welcome. I'm Yogi Chris, PhD, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga. I travel the world teaching yoga, and I'm the host of many podcasts and author of many books, and also have a PhD in the human universities. Next to me is Akash Intikatakam. And he's a biotech research analyst for the biggest drug dealers in the world, aka Big Pharma in Northeast. He's also a registered yoga teacher and starting his yoga following there in Montclair, New Jersey, called the Rising Suns. Welcome to the show, Akash.
What's up, brother? Dude, awesome to see you in person and really enjoy this weekend together.
Man, this is a really special episode. So it's going to be really brief. We're talking about false compliments. By the way, if you're catching us on iTunes, leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. This is how we appear in the iTunes ratings, and we'd love to expose this to more people. False compliments. What's the first thing that pops in your head when I say false compliment?
Yes, someone who's fake. Straight off the bat, it's someone who I don't want necessarily to, I don't want to associate with unless there's some reason that I need to. I'll just fake. That's the first one.
Yeah, is there, when are some like instances that you'll see like a false or a fake compliment come up?
Yeah, I guess first thing that I think about is the business world that I'm in. I can tell when people are being disingenuous or they want something from someone and they don't know how to communicate how they want something. So they go about it usually with what they'll start with.
Yeah, it definitely seems like maybe some kind of insecurity. And I see it a lot in guy-girl interactions. So the guy compliments the girl. And yeah, you could call it a genuine compliment, but there's like an undertone to it where it's like, how about some dick? It's like, you're so beautiful, will you go on a date with me? You're so beautiful, will you you want to make out? You want to go home with me? You want to drink? Like the compliment was, it wasn't pure in itself, because if the interaction ended there, it wouldn't suffice. Like the guy would not feel good about it. And it's because his compliment was not really a compliment. His compliment was his segue into a bigger conversation. So he was like manipulating the person, trying to do the compliment. The girl does this to me yesterday, because we were at a strip club. And so this is, the role is reversed basically in a strip club. And, she's complimenting me. I'm like, I don't care. She's like, you have such handsome features. Oh, that's cool. Oh, do you hear that a lot? Yeah. The role is just completely reversed. It's such a fake compliment because there was nothing to go from there. And she felt like, well, where do I go from there? It was like, nobody responds like that. It's because your compliment is fake, woman. Like, don't you understand? It's a false compliment. Another instance of this is something I wanted to talk about. I'll get your take on it. Was there was a message from a guy, and I'm not going to name the guy. The guy has bought products from me. The guy has purchased products from Arash, who's our teacher, and he sends here. Make sure you're in the Zoom if you can. And so he sends Arash a message about. I guess last week we had host Rooster IMC, or a guest on the show, Rooster IMC. Shout out Rooster. And he's part of the IMC community too. He's invested a lot in learning from Arash. He's really good at what he does. He's a great communicator. And so he's on the show last week, and it's the three of us. So after that show, this guy sends, I don't know what the order of who he sends what messages to first, because he sent me messages too. He sent me messages complimenting Rooster. I'm like, send Rooster the message. I don't need to hear about it. Unless you want to just tell me like, hey, will you have Rooster back? I really liked his content. But he didn't say that. He was just like message after message touting Rooster, like, yo, send Rooster the message. He ended up doing that, and he ended up, I think, calling him, and then they talked. So that's cool. But then he sends Arash a message. Sends Arash a message and says, your guys, or you're really changing the world, Arash. I mean, this is verbatim. I don't have like the exact text. He said, yeah, Brian's laughing in the background. He's like, you're doing a great job changing the world, Arash. I'm getting tremendous value from Akash, Rooster, and Yogi Chris, PhD. Keep up the good work, man. Like some shit like that. It's like, so Arash sends a message back, and he's like, then join the mentorship. And the guy replies back, and I know the guy's backstory too, because I'm selling him in the background too for Silent Loop. And because he needs it. I mean, when he comes to me with this kind of communication and all of his messages throughout the years of communicating back and forth, he needs more training. And he's like, he replies to Arash says, join the mentorship then. The guy replies, no budget, no money for that in the budget right now. All my education money is going towards online copywriting or something like that. He's learning how to write ads. He's paying for that online. And Arash replies something like, well, then save your compliments. No one cares. It's the truth. Like, what are you complimenting me? I already know I'm great. I've made a career out of this. I have 100,000 followers on Instagram, changing people's lives. I get compliments from the people that actually pay me. That means something. But you're coming to me telling me about how great I am because my students are great, but you don't want to invest anything? Your compliment is fake, dude. Quit wasting my time. It was a long message. I spent 30 seconds of my life. I'm worth $1,000 an hour, so I basically just get, what's 1,000 divided by 60? I don't even know. What is that, like $25 a minute? You just wasted half a minute for me to read your message. I basically just wasted $10 on you to read a fake compliment about my students. Message them or get on my program. And so one of the people that listened to Enlightened Masculinity, he didn't like that message. He sent me a message like, what do you think about it? I'm like, what do you think about it? He's like, he should just learn how to take a compliment. Like, sometimes you just got fanboys that are just like, they want to give you a shout out. It's like, bro, I'm not going to waste the time to explain to you that you just wasted an influencer's time to tell him something that, it's minimal. He has 5 girlfriends that tell him every day that he changes their lives, that they can live without him. You think the little tiny compliment from a person that's not even going to invest in $1 matters? He probably gets 100 messages. Brian, how many messages do you get a day on Instagram? It's too many. Brian, what, 25, 30,000 followers on Instagram? It's unreal. You're wasting people's time if you just send them a message to say, hey, good job. What, like I didn't fucking know I'm doing a good job? This is Enlightened Masculinity, guys, everybody. You got to be able to siphon the false compliments from the genuine compliments. What do you think about what I just said? I just really wanted to get that off my chest. I'm just kind of like handing the baton over to Akash to get his take.
Yeah, it's not a check your intention. Why are you saying what you're saying? What was the real purpose of it? Emphatically said.
I'm sorry, I had aggression.
No, but it's true. It's like, what the fuck are you saying? Why are you saying what you're saying? What's the importance of it? What does it add to someone else's life? What does that communication add to someone else's life? Because when we communicate, we're not communicating we're communicating our point or perspective. Yeah. We need to figure out what is the context of what we're saying. How does it relate to someone else? That's the base and the beginnings of what makes it communicating, in my opinion.
Yeah, that sentence is really cool. Like, what value is your compliment adding to the other person? If the other person is, like if you were talking about like your, the conference that you just came from, and you seem excited about it, and then I could compliment something on that, and I think that would hit because the value, it's serving, that it's feeding your energy, that you seem excited and enthusiastic about this thing. I don't know anything about this subject. I can ask questions about it, but maybe I'm not interested in the subject. What do I do there? That would be a good time to compliment, I think. Like, you seem really into this. I really admire people that are so enthusiastic about what they do. Like, it's rare these days that people admire like their own work. That would be a genuine compliment for the purpose of what's my why? My why is to feed the energy because I like positive interaction. But if I'm sending you a compliment, what did the guy hope was going to be responded? Oh, thank you. Like, it added no value to the guy's life. Okay.
Well, Chris, here's the thing. A lot of the times people don't think about. They'll send out communication, but they don't even think what are possible outcomes.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we end up doing is like when we send messages or whenever we interact with each other, we're not simply interacting with each other just to like. It's like the way I see it is like I'm just putting my dick out on the table and it's like, what's gonna happen? Well, probably nothing. You know what I mean? Like with a woman, like you just put your dick out on the table, nothing's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's gonna lower your value. That's what's gonna happen.
That's exactly. But no one thinks about that. They don't think about what is the next step after I do this. They just are like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this because I gotta get it off my chest or some shit like that.
Right.
It's not thinking through. Well, when I do this, these are the outcomes that happen.
Yeah, and I can even see that being, hey, I just have to get this off my chest. I feel like you're changing the world. Like, that would be a little bit different. It's anchored than, but that's not what was said. It was straight out of and so the guy that messaged me afterwards, I won't name him. He's like, what do you think about this? Eventually he got my opinion on it. My opinion was the guy was judging Arash. His first statement was, you're changing, or I forget what the statement was, but it was something like, you're great. And it's like, oh, that's your judgment of me. You think I'm great? How much money have you invested? You know nothing. How can you're not in a position to tell me I'm great because you're not investing. And I think maybe tomorrow we could pick it up with something you were just saying about, thinking what is the effect of this communication. I could see that, and I've seen it in guys, paralyzed guys, thinking so much about what is the effect of this, so there's this balance between like, I want to be causing something intentionally, but I don't want to paralyze my action, like trying to figure out all the possible, feedback from this communication. So with that, guys, we're about to end. We probably got time for like one question or two. If you want to type something, let's see, Lord Swami. So a genuine compliment has an essence of involved value, would you say? You can feel the genuine compliment, yet it's not complimentary. What do you think about his question?
I don't understand what involved
value. I don't know what involved value. Does a genuine compliment need to be general to the subject?
No, you can give a genuine compliment on something very specific. Again, it's really where you're coming from. Like, what's the purpose of it? If it's a general admiration in another, if you see someone's enthusiasm in the way they're speaking, and that really speaks to you, you recognize it that within yourself. Actually,
yes.
Again, when we speak outwards, we're speaking inwards. So anything that you recognize on the outside around you is something that you're recognizing yourself. And so you can have something. It can be like, oh, Yogi Chris, I really like your style. You've got like an earring that I think is really awesome. To me, that could be a recognition for me of like, oh, maybe I want to get an earring like that, And so these are little clues and hints to learning more about the self as well.
Yeah, I like that. And I will add on to that. Definitely, it's like, anchoring it to your own experience. So I really like your earring. Could also be like a judgment. I like your earring. I've always been thinking about getting an earring, and I like seeing how you wear an earring. So now it's connected to like something I want, So like, yeah, if you want to give somebody a compliment on something, and anchoring it to what actually effect it's having on your experience. Like, I appreciate your beauty. I appreciate the way you wear your eyeliner. I appreciate the way you put yourself together. People don't put themselves together like you anymore. They don't seem to take pride in what they're doing. And it looks like you've taken pride in what you're doing, and I appreciate that. It reminds me a lot of my mom. She always appreciated the way she looked. She never wanted my dad to see her without makeup. Like this or that, something like that, So that's all I'll say it on today. It's a brief episode, guys. So if you're catching us on iTunes, definitely leave us a rating. You can always join our private Facebook group for free training. It's called Enlightened Masculinity as it is Facebook. And any plugs you want to put in there?
Nothing, brother. I'm just excited for today, this whole weekend. So taking it to the top. Keep kicking ass, guys.
Hell yeah. Namaste, everyone.